Welcome back to my Tibia diary. After hitting level 100 in my last update, I kicked things off by knocking out a series of bounty tasks. I cleared the Wailing Widows on Kralos, hunted Deepling Scouts in the mines near Khazar-dûn, and took down priestesses in Drifia. From there, I was assigned Pirate Marauders, which I happily finished on Nargar right after wrapping up the Marsh Stalker hunt in Venner. Next, I tackled the Bigfoot Burden intro questline since I'd received the Crystal Crusher bounty. I made my way to their hub and started my daily round. I'm trying to complete these missions every day, as they provide both reputation and minor crystalline tokens. In the beginning, I actually traded those tokens for extra reputation, just to speed up unlocking the full range of daily tasks. I did the Crystal Crusher task before leaving the area and doing some easier bounty tasks like rotworms and dwarves, orc riders in the Orc Fortress Mountain, and necromancers in Drifia again. The grind didn't stop. I tore through haunted treelings on Cormaya, hit the Carnifila task in the Benuta lab again, and trekked out to Niebler for some Shakoyas. From there, it was a tour of the islands, clearing Quora constrictors in the Malada depths, hunting pirate skeletons around the Garoma volcano, and finishing up on Nargar for the Cutthroat task. To wrap it all up, I headed back under the Garoma Isles to take down the Quora predators. After all of this bounty tasking, I decided to do my very first team hunt with my wife Aurelia Bollwerk. She is playing an Elder Druid, so we're a pretty good vocation pairing. I helped her out with her Ancient Scarab task in the Mother of Scarab's lair. Unfortunately, we started off a bit rusty, and she died in one of our earlier pulls as she got overwhelmed with all her new team hunt abilities. We recovered and completed her task in no time. The next day started with a reality check. I completely underestimated the Bigfoot Burden dailies, healed a second too late, and paid the price. That death hurt mostly because re-blessing myself wiped out nearly all my gold. I spent the rest of the day in full recovery mode, grinding bounty tasks to unlock more preferred slots. I started by finishing the Quora Predator Scouts, then headed back to Nargar for Pirate Cutthroats. After clearing Elf Arcanists in Yalahar, I hit the Pirate Marauders before taking a short break to upgrade my gear. I headed to Svargrand to take on the Warlord Arena. My goal was the Justice Seeker. While the Giant Sword's mana on kill is nice, I've reached a point where the added defense of a Demon Shield is more important for the small groups of 2 or 3 creatures I usually face. With the new sword in hand, I returned to the grind. I cleared Shakoya Toolshapers on Nebular and then hit Benuta for Sibangs. That's where the luck turned. I looted a Lesser Sage gem. It sold for 300,000 gold, which instantly fixed my bank balance. With my gold reserves back, I went on a tear across the map. I cleared Cyclops in northern plains of Havoc and stone golems under the Medusa Tower. I hit the ancient temple orcs near Ties and ice golems on Nebular. I trekked through Tyresung for frost giants and giantesses, and finally, I finished the day with ghouls in the Forbidden's Temple and elf scouts back in Yalahar. The next day, I was assigned a fresh batch of weekly hunting tasks and wasted no time clearing them. I dispatched the swamp trolls in Port Hope, the terramites near Ankramon, the dwarf soldiers in the mines, and the elf arcanists in Yalahar. Following those, I rolled the dice on a frost dragon bounty. I was crossing my fingers for a dragon scale mail or a royal helmet drop, but the hunt ended up being pretty rough. and I wasted a fair amount of supplies. Still, I pushed through to completion before capping off the day with tarantulas in the Port Hope Spider Cave. Returning to Kralos, I focused on some local favors for the ogres and goblins. Aside from the grind, I've set my sights on a major gear upgrade, the Foxtail Amulet. Its 5% physical protection is huge, but the road to get it is long. To even start, I need access to the vampire island of Vengoth, which requires progress in the Blood Brothers questline. That, in turn, requires holy water, which is locked behind a mission of the Inquisition questline. To kick off the Inquisition questline, I started gathering supplies, specifically 20 vampire dusts and 10 demonic essences. I blessed a stake and began farming the tombs around Ankramon to harvest the dust. I took a brief detour to wrap up my Wailing Widow and Giant Spider tasks, which led to a showdown with the Old Widow, just south of the temple. With the boss down, I headed back to the tombs to collect the remaining dust. Before moving on to the demonic essences, I pivoted back to Nargor for more pirates and a quick Marsh Stalker bounty. While in Venner, I also initiated the Pirate's Tale questline, aiming for eventually unlocking the exotic cave on Isavi. I got lucky with a pirate raid on Kralos. It was a variant that only requires firing the cannons, which was perfect since the other raid types are still a bit too dangerous for my current level. Lately, I've also been leaning in to the Find Fiendish spell. It led me to a Wiggler in the Truffle Garden, a Bone Lord in Hellgate, and a Spider in Khazor-dûm. All three were fiendish, and I even managed to loot my very first soul core from that Wiggler. On my way to that fiendish Bone Lord, I knocked out the Elven Poetry mission for the Explorer Society. I used that momentum to get through the rest of their requirements. I retrieved the Memory Stone from the Edrin Hero Cave, reached the rank of Explorer, and secured the Ectoplasm, the Spectral Dress from the Banshee Queen, and the Spectral Stone. That officially checks off the main missions for that questline. Finally, I continued the Ice Islands quest to gain access to the Fomorga mines. To save time, I finished the intro for Forgotten Knowledge to activate the ice portal in the Halls of Hope. It's a great shortcut that drops you right into the heart of the mines. After finding the ghost to progress my quest, I stayed to hunt nightmares. I'd already picked up the nightmare task from Grizzly Adams, as they're my favorite source for farming those 10 demonic essences. Before I started my hunt, I imbued my golden armor and Crusader helmet for the very first time for some basic life and mana leech. I was lucky enough to hunt during the Exaltation Overload event, which increased my damage during my hunt. They were definitely a challenge, especially with destroyers mixed into the spawns, but my loot luck held up. I managed to secure all 10 essences without burning through too many supplies. With all the necessary items finally secured, I pushed through the Inquisition missions, stopping just before the final encounter. This earned me the Demon Hunter outfit and the ability to purchase holy water, which was the final key needed to progress the Blood Brothers quest and unlock Vengoth. This allowed me to at last finish the Curse Spreads portion of the Grimvale quest by cleansing the ley lines in Banuta, Kralos, and Vengoth. After taking down the 5 were Beast Leader's Bloodback, Darkfang, Sharpclaw, Black Vixen, and Shadowpelt, I was finally awarded the powerful Foxtail Amulet from Daniel Steelsoul. I immediately tested the new amulet during a team hunt with Aurelia Bollwerk. We took on the Hellspawn task from Grizzly Adams in the Yalahar Magician Quarter, but it was a grueling session. We burned through quite a few supplies, so after nearly 100 kills, we decided to put the task on hold for a later date. I wrapped up the day by finishing a brimstone bug task in Zhao and defeating their boss, the sulfur scuttler. Since I had finished my spider and insect tasks and gained access to Vengoth, I knocked out the werewolf task there as well, defeating their boss Hemming in the process. I then took a break from the hunt to craft a massive batch of sugar oats in Liberty Bay. It's a tedious process of gathering wheat and sugar cane, but they sell for a decent price. I keep a steady supply to sell whenever I'm low on gold, plus plenty extra in case I ever run into a wild horse to tame. After my usual Bigfoot burden dailies, I entered the Gnome Deep Hub to start the Dangerous Depths missions. This is currently my best way to farm silver and gold tokens from the surprise jars. Since the measurements and uncharted territory quests only take a minute or two, I've added them to my daily routine. Turning my focus back to bounty tasks, I cleared Congress in Banuda and pirate cutthroats in Narga. Having surpassed 3,000 pirate kills, I was finally eligible to face a leader after reporting back to Raymond Stryker. I fought Brutus Bloodbeard and was lucky enough to loot his hat. I spent the rest of the day cycling through more bounties: thornback tortoises on the Laguna Isles, pirate marauders on Nargar, and skeleton warriors in the Ghostlands, before returning to Nargar for more smugglers and cutthroats. I was then assigned Dragon Lord hatchlings, which led me to complete the hidden city of Baragar quest to obtain Firewalker boots and access their lair. I had to face Pythias the Rotten, who was a tough fight, but manageable. However, I quickly realized I was still a bit too weak to efficiently hunt the dragon lair, so I decided to skip the hatchling task for now. Instead, I focused on lizard snake charmers in Chor and gnarlhounds in Zhao, followed by another round of smugglers in Narga. I also returned to the Vengoth surface for haunted treelings, followed by more pirate cutthroats and a blood crab task on the Laguna Isles, before finally doing a brain death hunt in the Yalahar Cemetery. Brain deaths drop valuable imbuing items that will be essential for my future gear. I finished the day with another dwarf soldier task near Khazad-dûm and some dark magicians in Yalahar. The next day's weekly tasks were straightforward: dwarf guards, rabid wolves, marsh stalkers, and termites. Unfortunately, during another round of Bigfoot burden dailies, I lost focus. I didn't heal enough against the fire elementals during the grindstone mission and died. Being completely broke, I had to sell off loot just to afford the 100,000 gold for re-blessing. I closed out this entry by finishing the Lion's Rock access to hunt roaring lions. The spawn is great, even if the creatures are starting to feel a bit weak for my level. After a few more bounties on Nargar, I faced my second pirate leader, Brutus Bloodbeard, again, giving me a second hat. I'm hoping to trade it for other pirate addon items eventually. Moving forward, I'm prioritizing the Warzone dailies to build my reputation for server runs. The major crystalline tokens will be huge for my gear progression, though I still have some grinding to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.